Releasing decisions is a crucial stage of the admission process that requires careful attention, whether coordinating for a small handful of admits or a large-scale release to thousands of applicants. Understanding the release decisions tool and how to leverage its various components can help you manage the process efficiently, providing a structured and reliable way to handle your decision release with confidence. Let's start outside of the release decisions tool to get a sense of the different stages of a decision. There are 4 stages of a decision in Slate: provisional, confirmed, released, and received. We can see this represented most clearly from an application record. On a record, scroll down to the decision section where we are able to manually add a decision. We are also able to see a visual representation of each stage of a decision in Slate. From the New Decision pop-up, there are options to choose a decision, select a decision reason, add a letter, and check boxes for both confirmed and released. Let's start with provisional decisions. Provisional decisions are, by design, decisions that have yet to be finalized or approved by a process determined by your institution. A decision is provisional if it has not yet been confirmed or released. By adding a decision and taking no additional steps beyond adding a reason or a letter, we have added a provisional decision. At a glance, we can visually determine where in the decision release process an individual decision is by referencing the chart icon on the far right of each decision row. A provisional decision shows 3 gray bars. The next stage of a decision is a confirmed decision. A confirmed decision is considered finalized and ready to be released. When the confirmed box is checked and the decision is saved, the icon now shows as 2 orange bars, indicating that the decision has moved forward in the process. If the decision is released, there are 2 green bars. Finally, when the checkbox for notification is marked, it indicates that a decision has been received. Once a decision has been received, all the stages are complete and all 3 bars of the chart are green. This notification box is not usually managed manually, except for in special circumstances. Instead, the box will be checked automatically only when the applicant has viewed their decision letter from the status portal. Decisions are less frequently managed manually from the individual application record. Most of the time, decisions will be managed on a larger scale with the use of queries and the Release Decisions tool. Provisional decisions are typically added to application records via batch management. In an application-scoped query, appropriate filter criteria will narrow the group of applicants to precisely the records we need. For example, only applicants currently in the admit bin, or only applicants who have a recommended decision of admit, or both. We can filter for only applicants who are domestic, or only applicants who have applied to a particular program. Filters should be carefully selected to ensure that the applicants returned are exactly the applicants who should be receiving a provisional admit decision at this time. This is also a time where mistakes caused by human error can be caught and corrected. This can be accomplished with queries designed to audit potential decisions. Look for records that may have been added to the wrong bin. For example, a record that has a recommended decision of waitlist, but is in the pending deny bin. Throughout the decision release process, checks like this will become very important to ensure that the correct decisions are added to the right records. Let's return to our batch management query to add some decisions. When running the query, choose an export of batch management decision. Then click Export. Once we have selected a decision, we will also have the option to add a decision reason, choose a letter, and confirm a decision. As with manually adding a decision, all of these selections are optional from a query. Once a record has a provisional decision, it will appear in the Release Decisions tool, and we will have the opportunity to complete these steps there. Where in the process confirming and adding a letter takes place will depend on the procedure you have outlined. For now, we'll only add a provisional decision to our chosen records and manage next steps from the Release Decisions tool. Click Update All to add the provisional admit decision to all 36 records. Let's take a look at the Release Decisions module. From the database, search for and click on Release Decisions. The overview page shows how many decisions are awaiting confirmation and release, how many are queued for release, how many have been released in the last week, and how many decisions have been received recently. On the right-hand side of the screen, we can toggle between decisions ready for confirmation, those with no letters, and those ready for release. We can even see decisions that are already scheduled for release, and those that have been released. By hitting the Select All button in the left corner and then choosing the Batch Management Gears icon, we can confirm all the decisions we've collected at once. To further limit, audit, and sort the decisions that we are confirming, we can apply filters and customize columns using views. Navigate to the Searcher tool in the upper right corner by clicking the abacus icon. Currently, the default view is in place. The default view can be configured in the Shared Views section of your database. You can also create additional shared views. Users can select one of these views or create and save personal views from within the Release Decisions tool itself. Views can be created with filter criteria that will allow a user to see only a certain decision code, like admit. If you can query on it, you can create a view to limit the records available in the Decision Release tool. If a view has filters applied that limit the visible decisions, the blue Searcher tool becomes yellow. This is a good visual indication that the view is not showing all decisions. It is showing only the decisions we have configured to display. Views can be permissioned, so only select users are able to see a particular view. It is important to note that views will not persist through different sections of the Decision Release module. If the same shared or personal view should be available in multiple sections, it will need to be replicated in each section. Back in the Release Decisions tool, we are ready to assign letters and release decisions for the group of admits selected. Navigating to the Letters section, we can select the appropriate letter for these decisions. When a decision has been assigned, only letters associated with that decision are available for selection. Then click Assign. After a letter has been added, we are ready to release the decision. At any stage of the decision release process, an individual decision may be viewed to check for accuracy. Clicking on a name results in a box similar to the manual decision pop-up. From here, we are able to verify that everything looks as it should. After you are satisfied that the correct decisions and letters are being assigned, select the decisions to be released. Within Batch Management, we can select a release date and time. Note that the time is set to Eastern Standard Time, so take special care when releasing decisions from a different time zone. Schedule the release date and time for when you would like decisions to be released. If it should be immediately, add today's date and the current time. If it should be in the future, add the exact date and time. You are also able to configure a date when the decision will expire and not be visible on the status portal. An expiration date is not required. Once the decision is scheduled for release, it is available for viewing in the Queued for Release section. Here, there is a button to unrelease the decision. Note that some rules may have run based on the scheduled release, but this is a useful tool should circumstances change, and the decision release should be unscheduled. This functionality is designed for unforeseen issues and emergencies, and should only be used sparingly. Auditing of decisions and letters should always happen before decisions are released. Releasing decisions is one of the most important stages of any admission process. Slate's Release Decisions database tool is intentionally designed to require multiple stages of approval to ensure that decisions can be carefully reviewed prior to release. The tool enables your team to design and execute a comprehensive decision release strategy that aligns with your institution's needs. As you develop this strategy, be sure to check out additional decision release resources in the knowledge base and community forums.